Oh man. Good morning. Good afternoon. It's not morning anymore. It's mine. Hey, a little bit. You're gonna have to pardon me. I was trying to quench my thirst with a little bit of muscle milk. Now listen. Now Now listen. First of all, I just want to start off by saying, why in the hell is my iPhone connecting to everyone's Wi-Fi as I drive around the world? I turn off my location services and then I go to certain applications and it says, in order to use this application, you need to have your location services turned on. So then I turn them on and my phone just dives right into everyone's internet connection without my permission or theirs. And then most of the time it's someone's Wi-Fi. I don't even know how it does it because you need a password for it. And then their Wi-Fi doesn't work and it slows my phone down. Okay? My God. Nicole. Okay, Nicole, I just introduced Nicole to Miss Portland yesterday or the day before, something like that. Anyways, if anybody knows how to fix that, please slide into my DMs, okay? But use your own Wi-Fi while you do it, okay? Hey, Sky Maiden. You know the drill when I'm on Avatar. We're driving by Nicole Kessinger Park. Hey, Jenny Jen. Gather around.
No chance. No dance. No chance. No dance. No chance. Give me second chances.
That's so cool!
I won! Yay! Ow! My
You know what drives me nuts? Not the only bless your heart. My Bluetooth. It doesn't matter how many brand new Bluetooth earphones that I buy. It only connects in one ear. It doesn't matter. I've bought multiple brand new Bluetooth headsets, and it only works in one ear. Now, I can go to Apple and raise hell, but it's too much work. Just listen in one ear. Use the plug-in earphones, and when I use the plug-in earphones, and especially if you use them at the gym, your cord gets caught on the equipment as you're getting up, and if you see attractive people at the gym that you're trying to flirt with, you embarrass yourself because the cord yanks your head back. That's happened to me multiple times. I'll get up doing a real sexy walk, like flexing my muscles, and I'll go to stand up, and the exercise machine will get caught in the cord in my ears and pull me right back down to earth where I belong. Very grounding. Okay. So anyways, I do agree, Lavina. Now listen. Now, yeah, I do. I normally play it off, but Jameson, I'm a really bad flirt. I don't flirt with people unless I'm joking around. So yeah. Usually I'm that person that will, if I have a crush on you, I'll start stuttering or stumbling over my words or start sweating profusely. And then I'll start smelling really bad, probably like sweat. And then the person will just run away from me because I get really smelly. I am a sweater though, when that happens. Anyways, now, so as you guys know, anything that you put out on the internet is always there. I know this from experience. I know this from... Now, first of all, I'm not going to make excuses for my behavior, but there are reasons. Now, there are real people on here that will bait you into snapping at them. Lots of people get sick and tired. Oh, stop talking about your sobriety, blah, blah, blah. I'll never stop talking about recovery journey because it's amazing, okay? Doesn't matter how many times you fail at doing something, right? I just weighed myself on the scale last night. I've weighed 155 to 160 my whole life. I weigh over 170 pounds, okay? That's why I'm on hydroxycut today. Deal with it. Some weight and I'm going to get back up and be the hottest body ever, so it doesn't matter if I embarrass myself at the gym or not. I'll still look good. But when you say stuff on here, and sorry, I'm driving by Nicole Kessinger Park, so it may cut out for a minute, but I will be back if it does. Hit a 1 if it cuts out. But there are people who, it doesn't matter if they say it with their mouths clearly or not. And the one thing on here that has pissed me off in my time on YouTube is when people bring up my sobriety journey, my recovery, anybody's recovery, because it's fucking bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And some people have done it in a very subtle way to where only me or people that know about it will know exactly what they're talking about, and it'll be very gaslighting, and then you snap on them. Now, in my time on YouTube, you probably haven't seen this, but I have gone after people and snapped at them. Now, here's the problem, and here's the message I want to send out to Ms. Portland. When people make you angry, and I'm still learning this, however, I'll get to my point here on why I'm even addressing you to begin with, but when people make you angry, hey, Gulf Coast Mom, I love you. When you respond to them on the internet, it doesn't matter if we delete it or not. Hey, Emu, it's always going to be there. And when we say things out of anger, no matter what it is, whether we are, you're going to sit on your hands, Jameson. Okay, maybe that's a good idea. Maybe that's a good idea. Sometimes we have to sit on our hands and bite our tongue at the same time. They say you gain 10 pounds every decade. Not on my watch, Bubba. No, I've really been lazy lately. But anyways, when you say mean stuff, that's really kind of the blessing with YouTube as a platform or social media in general, because when you say stuff that you immediately regret, or maybe eventually you regret it, it's cringe to go back and listen to yourself in a bad moment. I'm probably the number one person you can talk to about those moments now. Hey, Van, I love you. So Miss Portland, you know, there's a lot of mean people that have made fun of you on here. And I actually have thought, like, your rants are funny, but I understand you struggle with certain things in your life as well. Okay. I get that. I think we all have struggles, but from one person to another that knows what it feels like to say horrible things to people, it's not okay. And so if you guys don't know, I recently, I had a problem with Natasha's community because it was dragging all the time and, making fun of Miss Portland specifically. She was one of the main targets over there. And I had an issue with that because I didn't want to be a part of that. It's silly, the video of Miss Portland dancing around in her negligee or whatever. But at the same time, it's just not nice because it was repeated over and over and over, making fun of this woman, right? So Miss Portland, I had an issue with that, all right? Because it wasn't nice to do that to you. But again, from one person to another who has said things that I probably should have never said in anger. I think we all do that, but mine have been caught on camera or recording multiple times, as is yours has as well, Mrs. Portland. But the way we respond to people when we're angry can really affect us in the long run, big time. So I was looking for your email, Miss Portland, and stuff, but what you said about a little child and Jessica's situation and stuff, that's not cool. Welcome, Don. It's not cool. So for now, I unless you give me your contact information, I'm just going to have to unfollow you. But I went to go do it, and I noticed your channel was hidden already, Mrs. Portland. She did go too far. And look, I've gone too far as well. All right. Now, there's no excuses for when we do that. There are reasons. I mean, we all do get triggered. I mean, that's the whole point of people gaslighting you. Hey, Mia. But one thing that I'm learning, and that's the blessing of this platform, is it's cringe to go back and listen. Or if somebody posts a video of you in your bad moments, it's cringy to listen to. But Miss Portland, I recommend that you go listen to your cringy moments that are posted because they're there. I don't remember the name of the channel, but they're there. Just like my cringy moments are posted. But we learn from them. I don't think people should be, like I said, people get mad at me all the time because I say even Chris Watts deserves forgiveness. Everybody does. If you're willing to change and you're still breathing, you have the opportunity to change whether people forgive you or not. Hey, Allison, that's the whole point of living, is learning. So it does drive me nuts when people completely, cancel people or whatever. But I have to say, I do not support what you said, Miss Portland. I don't support that. until today you supported her. Yes, and it's very clear that she has her own issues. She's struggling, and that's the part that's not funny. Hey, Suzanne, that's not funny at all. And it's not funny to continuously drag someone for their looks and stuff. Now, do we get angry and say, I mean, I'm guilty of doing it. I'm guilty of getting angry and wanting to hurt your feelings because you pissed me off. And that's something that I'm continuously working on. Danielle, I don't know exactly where the clips are, but she was basically wishing, the pandemic on certain people's children and, stuff like that. Oh, April, I'm doing good. I'm actually I think I lost 5 pounds overnight on hydroxycut. Isn't that fun? Hang on, let me get stopped here for a second. Does anybody know the name of the channel? You know what? If you type in Miss Portland on YouTube, you'll see the clips come up. But I highly recommend that Miss Portland goes and watches those clips. Well, I was enjoying her too. I thought, she's a silly, cute little goofy lady. But if I'm gonna, start trying to say that I'm changing the way that I react to people and change my ways and stuff, then I have to be careful where I'm going and supporting, because that would be completely contradicting in itself. So yeah, I don't support that. Okay. But I am optimistic that, people can learn from their actions and change. Definitely. She changes the name of it. Yeah, I think the last name she had was Mrs. Portland, the most hated person on YouTube or something like that. I don't remember. I think that is what it was. But so as far as, and here's the other part too, that, clearly she's just not in her right mind, because looks can be deceiving. It's very true. And so can the sound of somebody's voice. They could be sweet, but bite like a snake. It's just like that story that Joyce Meyer talks about, where she says there was a young kid walking through a field, and, they had their coat on, and there was a snake in the field that said, please, please, pick me up, pick me up. And the kid was like, no, I'm not going to pick you up. I'm not going to pick you up. And he was like, please pick me up and just hold me in your coat. I'm cold and blah, blah, blah. So then after the snake begs this child to pick him up, the kid finally picks the snake up and puts it in its coat to hold it, keep it warm. And then the snake bites it. And the kid throws it down and says, ow, why'd you bite me? And the snake says, you knew what I was when you picked me up. So be careful of the snakes that you pick up on YouTube, because they're slithering around. Now, can those snakes change? But to put it bluntly, there's a bunch of dickheads on here. You feel me? You don't snap back unless someone goes after friends and family. Well, and we all have our boiling points, Britt. My boiling point that I see, and here's the other part too, is when we show people our weaknesses or our issues, like that's a part of my entire channel, is I'm open about my struggles, my life and stuff. However, it also makes me vulnerable to attacks by showing things that have been my weakness and whatnot, but weaknesses can become strengths through that. Hey, I'll see true crime. So it's a sucky situation to have to learn on a platform in front of a lot of people, but sometimes that's what it takes. That's what it takes. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that people that have attacked me, like, oh, it's all my fault and I shouldn't have done that. No, it's just, look, people still on a daily basis. Hey, wifey, on a daily basis, I still wake up and I will see my picture on YouTube, but it's not one of my videos. It's somebody else making a video about me, blah, blah, blah. For quite a while, I was letting that trigger me, especially when I would click on them and hear some of the things that they were saying. And, of course, at YouTube, so people use it as content rather than actually wanting to reach out to you and work things out. Thank you, Suzanne. And it's pissed me off. And I've gone on rants about it. But the thing about that is when you go on a rant, and you're cutting people down, which I've done multiple times, you're only adding flames to that fire, and you're not making the situation worse. Look, I add flames to the fire by not even responding to people, which is the advice my mother and tons of my friends have given me multiple times. Don't respond. Don't respond. Don't respond. And if you do it, like an adult, not like a fucking dickhead like I've done in the past a lot of times. So if we think that we're going to change someone's mind or we're going to put them in their place by snapping at them and cutting them down, I'll be the first person to tell you, if you're going to try to do it on this platform, you're dead wrong, because they will just get pissed off and come at you even worse and harder. Hey, Christy. Thank you, Donna. And I give that advice because I am a part of that. I've been a part of the problem. And it's not okay to do stuff like that. So, Miss Portland, I couldn't find your channel and I couldn't find your email or anything, but I can't support you in that. Naughty. Naughty. Bad. Ooh, hang on one second. Can you guys still hear me? Because my bar is on like 1. Frickin' T-Mobile. You took up for her and praised her. She knows what she's doing. She does know what she's doing. If you know well enough that you can type in a password and come online and say stuff, you do know what you're doing. Just like anytime I've been on rants before and I haven't even been drunk, okay? I've just been pissed. So whether I've been full of anger, full of alcohol, whatever it is, I still know what I'm doing. You still know. You have a sense of what you're doing and you're responding, but it's about how you respond. Now, have a bunch of people deserved when I cussed them out? Oh, fuck yes, they have. However, I didn't make the situation any better by snapping at them at all. I think someone made a fake account to get to you after she's been blocked. Oh, welcome to YouTube, right? Welcome to YouTube, where people speak what's on their mind, and if you block them and you don't like what they have to say, they'll just come back under a fake account and speak it some more. You absolutely did not deserve what she said, Granny's watching. Not at all. And I don't support that one bit. She is aware of her behavior, and when I saw her, I looked at her as like this, oh, she's cute, and she makes herself vulnerable as well. And when I saw that people were consistently going after her nightly on a panel, it disturbed me. And that's really the whole reason that started the fight with me and Natasha. However, Mrs. Portland, the way that we respond, I mean, seriously, I do have the room to give you the advice because I've been through the same bullshit. And I suggest that no, that is not the correct route to take, okay? We can't be dickheads and then whine and cry on here when people are being mean to us or making videos about us because, we shouldn't have been a dick in the first place. Just like I said, the people that are still making videos of me on a daily basis, they'll pull up a video of mine from 2 years ago when I was cussing somebody out and drag me for it. So, Ms. Portland, it's never going to go away, but the way your actions and the way that you can change shit around, that's up to you. Just like mine's up to me. Love you, Mom. So that's what I wanted to say to you because I couldn't find any way to get a hold of you, and I was in your corner rooting for you. You gotta knock that shit off, okay? You gotta be nice. Just ignore the bastards on here. Hang on, I'm almost parked, you guys. Sun's beaming in my face and I don't read while I'm driving. Okay, wifey, I love you. My mom loves you, by the way. Granny's watching. I think she watches you more than she watches me. Probably because you don't cuss people out on a daily basis like I have in the past. Now, listen, that's not to say that, look, when things are aggravating, just like this, talking about this right now, if you have something on your mind, of course it's okay to speak about it. Now, something that my big mouth has been learning over time, being the crazy Gemini that I am, is that responding in anger and cutting people down is never the correct option. Now, does it feel correct and does it feel good when you're doing it? You bet your sweet fucking ass it does. That's why it's important to think before we speak, because it feels good in the moment, but fuck, get a punching bag with all the trolls' faces on it or the people that are pissing you off and just beat the shit out of it and bite your tongue on here. Unless you can come on and be a reasonable person. And again, that's something that I'm still learning in real life. You know how many fistfights I almost got in downtown just from fucking running my mouth? Tons! Hey, Cotton Candy. Okay, I'm parked finally. I'm sorry. No, Bubba. Adding alcohol and streaming never helps. That's one of the main reasons that I don't like alcohol. And you know, I'm going to say this because Natasha is a dickhead, and I'll tell you why. All right. I'm very open about my journey that I've had in my experience with alcohol, drugs, all that stuff. I'm open about it because it definitely helps me. Okay. Now, I've even said I don't think I've ever been actually addicted to any substance. Do I have an addictive personality? Yes. Have I relied on stuff when I've been upset or stressed out? Yeah, because it takes the edge off or whatever. But I hate alcohol. And here's why. And even though I still randomly once in a while drink it, I hate it because I hate smoking cigarettes. I also hate drugs. And alcohol in the past has been a horrible gateway to drugs because it again, it takes the edge off. Oh, your oldest is a Gemini and he has a horrible temper. Both me and my brothers are and my brother are Geminis, and my mom can tell you our temper. Not good. Not good. Love you, Amy. I hope you're feeling better. Prayers for Amy, you guys. She hasn't been feeling well. Melanie, absolutely. And there's people that, here's what I don't like about alcohol, and then I'll get to what Natasha said before I go. But people who say, oh, you know, I can just have one drink or whatever. Like, if you're doing it and you're stressed out, that's great. But it can always go south. No matter what, you can end up having one drink and then leading to another. And next thing you know, you're snorting cocaine off a hooker's ass. Thanks, Tracy. Have I snorted cocaine off a hooker's ass before? Again, my mother's in the room and I plead the fifth now. Okay, just kidding. I don't think it was a hooker. Anyways. I don't think that was a hooker. Maybe. It kind of smelled like a hooker. A little bit. But when you have somebody that is a friend like Natasha was supposed to be, and look, I never confided in anybody because I talk openly about my experience with recovery in general. And actually, I'm really damn proud of myself that I can, that I have had some drinks, you know, here and there. Have I got drunk as of recent in the last couple months? I think, yeah, a couple of times. Yeah. But it's not what it used to be. And this is what pisses me off when people talk about recovery or cut somebody down for it. Because everybody has their different version of what their recovery is. Okay. My issue was binging and then going on doing things that I should not be doing that I normally wouldn't be doing if I wasn't under the influence. And a lot of the rants that I've had on here, cussing people out, saying vile stuff, has been when I've been stressed out and, you know, putting the edge off with a couple of drinks or whatever. Now, that's not an excuse, but people don't understand. Listen, and I'm going to say this, I'm not going to name names. I'm going to say this as a blanket statement. There has been people that have said horrible things about my recovery journey. And this is even while I was almost sober for an entire year, from cigarettes, everything, just because I didn't want any of that shit. And I did a damn good job doing it. And while I did that, I put up with people gaslighting, talking horribly about it, making fun of it. And here's my problem. You guys know that I snapped on somebody that had a tragedy that happened with their son. We're not going to get into that, and this is not to say anything mean about that person. However, that person did not deserve what I said to them in my anger at all. But I will say that that person, I was under the impression that that person lost somebody to addiction. And I was pissed off because I'm like, how dare you? Look, I'm somebody's son. My mom's in the chat. I'm somebody's son. And I could have hurt myself. I could have been through something that ended up being tragic. So when you're sitting there making fun of somebody's sobriety and you're making a joke out of it, people get sick of me talking about it, but that's not okay. It's not okay for me to respond the way that I did, but that is not okay to sit there and be like, oh, I'm a mother, you can't do that. Or I've had tragedy, you can't do that. Look, same reason I can't sit here and say, oh, well, you made fun of my recovery, so you can't, it goes both ways. It doesn't just go one way. So my message, what I'm saying to Miss Portland, because I do have to go in a minute, and to everybody is, when you throw like I've said before, when Tira was on my panel, when you throw that dodgeball back at somebody that's attacking you, it's probably going to fly right back at you again. So we all have to learn to not pick that ball up and use our words wisely instead of responding by throwing the fucking ball directly at their heads. New year, new cheers. Amen. One day at a time, people who have never been in that spot should not speak on it. No. And another thing that it does make me angry, and I will never stop talking about recovery. It does make me angry when people replay moments of my weakness, which, yeah, I should have never been crazy or cuss people out. But when people replay your bad moments, whether you're drunk, sober, angry, or what, and they define you by that for the rest of your life, those are the kind of people you have to stay away from, because they don't believe in change and they don't believe in forgiveness. And that's why I'm saying to you, Ms. Portland, is you can change the way you respond to people. Because I'm a walking example of that. And you're just going to dig yourself a deeper hole if you keep responding in a really negative way. And I say that with love in my heart. Certain psychos showed photos of you drinking as if this was anything shocking. No, I know. And I know exactly who you're talking about. It's the kangaroo guy, Lauren. That guy's nonstop. And for the longest time, I let him, and I'm sure you've seen multiple other channels, trigger me, gaslight me into cussing them out. And then look what happens. They hide their videos that they made to gaslight me, or their comments they'll delete, or they'll do it under troll accounts and stuff, and they'll play a victim. And that's the part that we need to take ownership for our actions. Everybody does. And one more thing. This is another thing that I have no sympathy for, and it pisses me off. Now, my mom knows. If you treat me nice, I'm going to treat you nice. And it does not matter what your gender is. It drives me nuts. And I'm not only talking about Natasha saying it recently, I'm talking about everybody. They'll point out men in this community and say, oh, look at those men getting involved in drama. First of all, I don't get involved in other people's drama. I talk about my own, okay? Or if it has something to do with me. I have no interest in gossip about other people, none of that bullshit, okay? But when people sit there, and it doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl, but as a man, I'm saying there's been so many people who have said horrible things to me, and I may have responded mean or nice. But when they say, oh, look at that man shouldn't be responding or talking back to that woman or whatever, listen, this is 2021. You should know that listen, if you want to be treated with respect, me as a gay man, I don't sit there and use that card all the time, because it's a tiny, tiny part of me. So when you sit there and say, oh my God, that person can't say this to me because I'm gay, or I'm a woman, or I'm this, or I'm that, that's not an excuse. Because what you're saying is, that's sexist in itself. Because what you're saying is, you can treat people however you want to, but you're off limits to that person because of your gender. No, you're a human being who treats people a certain way. And the way we get treated back is normally what we're putting out. So it is not okay to sit there and point out men in this community and say, oh, they can't do, look at them. They can't look, they're in drama. Okay, so what are you saying? It's okay for women to be in drama? It shouldn't be okay anytime. It shouldn't be okay anytime, and it's not. Amen, Tracy. We do learn through our dark shit that we go through. Hey, Candace. And it was Granny's Watching was playing. I don't even know what channel it was from, but it was a video about Natasha all of a sudden turning around and saying, oh, these men shouldn't do this and that. Listen, we've all heard the way she talks to not just men, but everybody. So as a man, but a human, if you're nice to me, I'm probably going to be nice to you, but I'm not going to want to talk to you if you're a dick. And if you're mean to me, I'm working on the way I respond to your fucking ass. I agree, Lavina, because your gender has nothing to do with the words that come out of your mouth and the way you treat people. It has nothing to do with that. Now, do I open doors for women? Still, sure, and have manners. Yeah, I'm a fucking decent person. I also open the doors for men. They'll fucking walk through the door like it's a clown car just let out and they're going through the door. So it has nothing to do with gender. And you cannot, just like I cannot hide behind, oh, I'm gay, you can't talk to me like that. And I don't sit there and hide behind, oh, I'm in recovery, you can't talk to me like that. But what I'm saying is it's not okay for you to go after people's shit, whether it's recovery or their gender or anything. Just like it's not okay for me to. Yeah, you're just opening the door, Lauren, having manners, being respectful. Or if I see an old person, I slam the door in their face. Just kidding. No, I hold the door open for them too. Or, you're just a polite fucking person. But on the internet, it's very easy not to be yourself. It's very easy to hide behind icons and all that shit. So that you're not held accountable for your behavior. Well, if I'm going to be held accountable for mine, anybody and everybody should be accountable for theirs. Amen, Amberly, me too. So that's all I wanted to say. I know I went on a rant, but, again, we can't hide behind certain stuff. Just like every time I talk about snapping people, it has not always been under the influence. I have to take accountability for my actions no matter what. I can't sit here and hide and say, oh, well, I'm in recovery, so you're just going to have to deal with my emotions and I can say whatever I want. No, you do not have to put up with my emotions. Do I deal with recovery issues? Absolutely. But you do not have to tolerate me mistreating you if I'm in a bad mood. Okay? Amen, Canine Rescue. No excuse to be able to be a bitch and expect others not to bitch. Exactly. It's a very easy, basic rule, like unspoken rule, really, is fucking treat people the way you want to be treated. And that's it. Anyways, yeah, Miss Portland, I hope you go and watch your stuff. I think that'd be a good idea to go back and look at some of the things you've said and then maybe apologize. But anyways, guys, love you, Christy. I hope you have a good day. I went on a long rant and I really need to get off of here. But I love you and I hope you have a good day. And I hope you take that message to heart. Because we all need to stop being a bunch of dicks. Love you too, Stacy. Bye, guys.
No chance, no